I'm the sports professor Rick Horrow with Beyond the Scoreboard, the serious show that doesn't take itself too seriously. Episode 20, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a best of, but we've managed to fool people for 20 weeks that we deserve to be on the air. Trillion-dollar business of sports, and it only gets bigger and better. We have the French Open continuing into week 2. And by the way, music junkies have James Corden's Carpool Karaoke. But if you like comedy, there's Jerry Seinfeld's Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. For eavesdropping tennis fans, there's the Road to Roland Garros. A multi-year partnership between automaker Peugeot and French Open officials. Not only has Peugeot providing French Open courtesy cars, it's made some pretty good TV. And Kyrton also's revealed to Novak Djokovic the real secret to playing well on clay. It's all in the hair. The 2-minute vignettes orchestrated and delivered by leading technology partner Glovecast, a longtime Roland Garros partner. In cooperation with France TV, the clip's available globally via YouTube. Then, how about golf? Well, we're almost ready for the U.S. Open, then the PGA, then the Olympics, then the FedEx Cup, then the Ryder Cup. But how about this? If a new bill working through Congress can get signed into law, golfers may soon be able to write off some of their golf expenses. One of the biggest knocks on golf, it's simply too expensive. The PHIT, or FIT Act, which stands for Personal Health Physical Fitness, the bill, according to Golf Digest, allows many golf-related purchases, clubs, balls, greens fees, driving range expenses, instruction, tournament entry fees, tax-deductible up to $1,000 for individuals or $2,000 for the head of household or family. Why is Congress wanting to give golfers a tax break? Out-of-shape Americans cost the health care system much more than fit taxpayers. I know I play 150 rounds a year, and you can hardly call me sedentary, but you could call, hopefully, this show interesting. Jim Rushton, partner of sports and entertainment practice at IBM's Interactive Experience, Shane Battier, an NBA star needing no introduction, and Don Waddell, president of Carolina Hurricanes, formerly the Thrashers, and NHL defenseman. He played 8 years in the NHL. Football, hockey, basketball, it's all here, Beyond the Scoreboard. Be back in a couple of minutes.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number.
Call 877-499-MY-TV.
The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So cancel the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money.
Call 877-499-MY-TV.
Right now to sign up for packages starting as low as $24.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $24.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card.
Call 877-499-MY-TV. That's 877-499-MY-TV.
Cancel the cable, cut costs, and get more.
Call now, 877-499-MY-TV. That's 877-499-MY-TV.
Rebuild or replace transmission, $3,200. Anti-lock brake system, $1,000. Rebuild or replace engine, $2,400. Truth is, once your manufacturer's warranty runs out, it's all on you. Every last cent. Get protection for covered repairs with a vehicle service contract from Toco Warranty. Unlike other companies, with Toco, there's no down payment, and the monthly payments are really affordable. Not sure how long you're keeping your car? At Toco, you can pay as you go. Keep your hard-earned cash and call Toco Warranty right now at 800-222-2313 to save big money on covered auto repairs. Prices vary by vehicle, but for about the cost of a tank of gas per month, a Toco plan has your back on expensive covered car repairs. Monthly payments are very affordable. Get your free quote now. Call Toco at 800-222-2313. That's 800-222-2313. 800-222-2313. Cancellation fee may apply. Subject to eligibility. Not available in Missouri and Washington. Waiting period and deductible apply. Coverage provided and administered by Warrantech Corporation or its affiliates. Not affiliated with any manufacturer or dealership. Visit TocoWarranty.com for complete terms and conditions.
Not all waters are created equal. Alchemy Water has been specially treated with a patented system to create a premium alkaline water that tastes great and and offers more benefits than natural water. Alchemy is ionized and microclustered for antioxidant protection while neutralizing free radicals. Plus, it's fluoride-free and eco-friendly. All of these things add up to the ultimate health and wellness premium water. Available at select retailers and online through Amazon at alchemywater.com. That's ALKAME water.com.
iHeartRadio loves music, so let's count the ways. Over 20 million songs from 800,000 artists, all free. And like Pandora, you can create your own custom station from any of those 800,000 artists. Just tell us an artist or even a song that you like, and we'll build a custom playlist for you. Add to that thousands of the best live radio stations, and you'll never have to worry about finding the perfect song for your commute, mood, or party. Millions of songs, thousands of stations, one free app. iHeartRadio is that easy. Download our iHeartRadio app today or listen online at iHeartRadio.com.
Sports Professor Rick Horrow, Beyond the Scoreboard, the serious show that doesn't take itself too seriously. Diverse show today, starting with Jim Rushton, the partner of sports and entertainment practice at IBM Interactive Experience. He had prior roles with the Dolphins, the Padres, and as an advisor to the Boston 2024 Olympic bid. The convergence of sports and technology. Jim Rushton.
Jim Rushton, a leader in industry revenue maximization, clearly. Now, however, he is the global leader, partner, sports entertainment interactive experience for IBM. That's a great title. Congratulations. That's a wonderful deal.
Makes my mom proud.
Well, no, it makes everybody proud. So what does this mean?
So this is an opportunity where IBM has been involved in sports for 20-plus years, starting with the 96 Olympics, the U.S. Open, the Masters, Wimbledon, Australian Open, and a lot of other different sports. And about 2 years ago, became involved with the Atlanta Falcons, with the Mercedes-Benz Stadium and Arthur Blank and his sports and entertainment group, starting with building that stadium of the future with the infrastructure. First of all, connecting the entire network, whether it's security or access control or the video boards, et cetera, bringing that under one system, and then utilizing that system in order to inform what's a data management layer, data management would be to learn about the individual fan, and then ultimately make a presentation to the fan, whether it's on a tablet or mobile phone, desktop, that is personal to them as an individual.
And you've been at the forefront of revenue maximization all over the leagues, sports, Miami Dolphins, otherwise. So clearly what you're saying, or what IBM is saying, is that the fan counts, the fan matters, and the experience in the future needs to be created from the fan out.
You've nailed it. So you should come work for us.
I'm happy.
So our perspective is it's fan-centric design, and don't make technology decisions for the sake of technology. Start with the fan-centric design. What's the strategy in order to execute against that design? Use data to inform, and then ultimately make the technology decisions. And wrap that all around the up to 7 different businesses in a typical sports enterprise. You've got the venue, tickets, concession, merchandise, sponsorship, integrated media. And now what we're seeing quite a bit is these real estate complexes that are being built around the venue. What's going to go on in LA, what's happening up in Milwaukee, what's happening in a lot of different places around the world is the venue can't sustain its value on its own. So a lot of owners now are building out entire campuses of live, work, play experiences.
Venue, spectator, entertainment, you're right, commercial. And so the bottom line of all of this is you need to stay one step ahead of where the curve is. And the revenue, though, still driven by television rights, which obviously is important for fans, though. But how's the mix? You talked about vertical integration in your description, but where's the mix of television and the vertical integration of television fit into the stadium experience as well?
Sure, that's a great point. What's interesting is that you've got sports is very unique in that most companies have millions of customers but relatively few fans.
Yeah.
Sports has millions of fans but relatively few customers. And we talk about it in the form of rented relationships, earned relationships, and owned relationships. So a rented relationship being someone who is connected through broadcast television or through social media. Earned is someone who's in the team's database. And owned is actually the person who moves from fan to customer and are actually spending money directly with the team. Where there's an opportunity because of digital today is for these sports enterprises not only to maximize the opportunity at the physical space, being at the stadium, but also the virtual fan base as well.
So the bottom line of a lot of the technical solutions, and we see it at stadiums, there's now connectivity in the tailgate lots with the suites, in the general area, the traffic to and from facilities. When does that stop? Technology continues to evolve to deal with these issues.
It doesn't. It'll never stop. Fortunately for our company and others in technology, but it also what consumer demand. And our perspective is that the fan of the sports enterprise should have an experience that's relative to time, proximity, and relationship. So time being game day, non-game day, or off-season. Proximity being at the venue, out of the venue at home, or out of the venue out of home. And relationship. Are they a passively engaged fan? Are they an actively engaged fan? Or are they actually a high-value customer? And while everybody should be treated well, not everybody should be treated the same. So that person who's in stadium, it's game day, and they're a high-value customer should have a slightly different experience than game day out of home or at home, and then an active and engaged fan.
Well, everybody knows that from your Dolphin experience and my Dolphin fandom, you can't win every game. You'd like to win half. You can't win every game. But you can provide an entertaining experience for people where they'll come to the games independent of whether the team is undefeated or not. So how does this experience play into all of that? It's consistent. It's evolving. People need to enjoy that experience in a comprehensive way.
And you're right. And so most teams treat their fans all the same. They may segment them into different types of buckets or different types of relationships, but at the end of the day, it's about my driveway to my seat. Yeah. And so my driveway to the parking lot is a pain point. What's the traffic going to be like? Once I've got through traffic, now getting down to the parking lot, which one do I go to? Another pain point. Once I get in the parking lot, which gate do I go into? Another pain point. Yeah. When I get through the gates, do I take a left or a right in the concourse? Now I finally get into my seat, I got to go to the bathroom. Or I have to go get a beer or a hot dog, and I need to step away. Where do I go? Yeah. And then the ultimate pain point is it's 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. If I leave now, will I get home? Or if I leave at the end, how long will it take me to get home? Yeah. And utilizing technology in order to inform that fan all the way along the way. And then also to inform the level of relationship they have with the team so it continues to get more personal and they're treated more as an individual versus a group of fans.
And that may be the future of this. So in your expert opinion, 5 years from now, how does this all shake out? That in-stadium experience, the OTT piece, the traditional network piece, all interrelated? What's your prediction?
My prediction is that the organizations that are going to be in the forefront of this are the ones that recognize how do you unlock the value of your ecosystem. And what's interesting is that the fan passion is something that could be and can be capitalized on by sports because I will always react differently to a message from a sports team than an email message than from some other type of product along the way. Organizations that can start to capture, and then when we talk about that rented relationship, earned relationship, owned relationship, and look at all the different touch points that they have amongst their ecosystem and pull those people in and start to build a digital relationship with them because of the underlying value and passion of the sports, they will completely manage their entire business model. And to your point earlier, they won't be susceptible of 8-8, 6-10,
2-14, whatever those teams are going to be.
Exactly.
Interesting. Your own personal happiness. You must be excited to be a worldwide influencer in a big blue chip company. Clearly, your hair is a lot less gray than it was when you were with the Dolphins.
It is. Well, yes, but it's been a terrific opportunity, and working with a terrific group of people, and we had a terrific group at the Dolphins, and they continue to innovate down there, and they continue to grow the franchise, and there's an unbelievable opportunity in sport, and I've had the chance to travel around the world in this first year and meet with various EPL clubs, meet with of course 4 major leagues here and 5 major leagues here in the U.S., plus a lot of different teams, and it just continues to reaffirm the opportunity in sport to unlock the value of their ecosystem.
And the bottom line sounds like innovation is key.
100%. You've got to keep up with the fans. any sports enterprise or organization that believes that they can manage the fans, you can't control consumer habit. And so you're either going to figure out how to capitalize on it, because you can't block it.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, Jim talks about what IBM does, but it also talks about the newfangled merger of sports and technology, especially with big companies like IBM. Jim's word will be long-term corporate policy in just a few years. Be back in a few minutes. Rick Horrow, Beyond the Scoreboard.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for prescription drugs? Well, we have great news. Now you can finally get prescription drugs at huge discounts from Canada Drug Center. That's right, the most popular drugs for cholesterol, high blood pressure, depression, diabetes, arthritis, and many more are now up to 75% off. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices when you can get brand name drugs at the lowest price? Call today and get up to 75% off all the popular brand name prescription drugs. Never pay high prices again. Get the most popular drugs at huge savings from our Canadian and international pharmacies and fulfillment centers. No insurance? No problem. Prices are so low you do not need benefits or insurance to get all your prescriptions fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting to take your call now. Order today and get free shipping. Just call 800-950-1180. Up to 75% off all the popular brand name prescription drugs and free shipping. Call 800-950-1180. That's 800-950-1180.
Tired of calls, levies, and liens from the IRS or hiring others who don't get the job done? Call Wall & Associates and you'll never talk to the IRS again. The IRS has a program to eliminate tax debt, and Wall & Associates professionals are trained to maximize its benefits for you. You always speak with a live person with real support and real knowledge. We've helped thousands of taxpayers like you settle their tax debt with the IRS for a fraction of what they owe. We solve tax problems. Call Wall & Associates now, 800-480-5708. We have the professionals who know how to solve tax problems. If you owe money to the IRS, your tax problems are not going away by themselves, and the passage of time will only make matters worse. Act now, before it's too late. Call Wall & Associates right now to speak to a professional tax relief agent. Call 800-480-5708. That's 800-480-5708. Again, 800-480-5708.
Rebuild or replace transmission, $3,200. Anti-lock brake system, $1,000. Rebuild or replace engine, $2,400. Truth is, once your manufacturer's warranty runs out, it's all on you. Every last cent. Get protection for covered repairs with a vehicle service contract from Toco Warranty. Unlike other companies, with Toco, there's no down payment, and the monthly payments are really affordable. Not sure how long you're keeping your car? At Toco, you can pay as you go. Keep your hard-earned cash and call Toco Warranty right now at 800-222-2313 to save big money on covered auto repairs. Prices vary by vehicle, but for about the cost of a tank of gas per month, a Toco plan has your back on expensive covered car repairs. Monthly payments are very affordable. Get your free quote now. Call Toco at 800-222-2313. That's 800-222-2313. 800-222-2313. Cancellation fee may apply. Subject to eligibility. Not available in Missouri and Washington. Waiting period and deductible apply. Coverage provided and administered by Warrantech Corporation or its affiliates. Not affiliated with any manufacturer or dealership. Visit TocoWarranty.com for complete terms and conditions.
Sports professor Rick Horrow, Beyond the Scoreboard, the serious show that doesn't take itself too seriously, the trillion-dollar sports business for current athletes and former athletes. How about Shane Battier, retired NBA star, played for the Grizzlies, Rockets, and maybe most notoriously, the Heat, two-time NBA champion 2012 and 2013 with the Heat, the NBA clearly, but also the NCAA champion in 2001, his number 31 jersey, retired by Duke, and now involved with the Take Charge Foundation, Athletes and Social Responsibility, Shane Battier.
Shane Battier, 2001 Duke national champion, back-to-back Heat. How do you want to be known, a Dookie or a Miami?
I'd like to be known as just a guy who helped his team win a few rings.
That is very political. That is appropriate and very political. But here's what somebody said about you. You were the no-stats all-star. I don't quite know what that means, but I guess it's teamwork, and I guess it's being successful everywhere you've been. Is that a persona that you kind of emulate?
I'm very proud. I'm very proud of my career.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of my ability to impact my teams and make them better. It was never about stats for me.
Yeah.
I played for some fantastic coaches, and started with my dad in Birmingham Little League, and he always told me, look, if your team is successful, you'll be recognized. All right, it doesn't work the other way around. And so,
Yeah, by the way, sorry to interrupt, but dads say that all the time.
Yeah.
Kids very rarely listen to that, by the way.
My dad was a wise man, a man of very few words. When he spoke, I listened.
You listened.
And so for me, it's about what can I do to help my team?
Yeah.
What can I do to win this game?
And when you start an NBA career, obviously you're very positive about your own abilities, but does somebody in your position project a 13-year NBA career and plan it around it financially? Or you say, just get through the first year?
You're just trying to survive.
Yeah.
I was blessed to have a 13-year career. My only goal when I came into the NBA was to play 10 years and to walk away before they kicked me out.
Yeah. You did both.
And I did both.
Yeah.
13 years, and I walked away healthy before they showed me to the door. So really, really blessed. But it really is year to year. It's about survival and staying in as long as you can.
Well, year to year, 6 in Memphis?
I had 5 years in Memphis.
5 Memphis, 3 Houston,
Yep.
and those memorable back-to-backs with the Heat.
Yes.
So you basically, when you got to Memphis, they had just moved from Vancouver,
Yeah.
so you were kind of the face of mobility and the face of transition and stability of mobility.
Well, you have to understand, when I left Duke, I was the all-time winningest college basketball player of all
Ever.
time.
Yeah.
Ever. All right? I go to the Memphis Grizzlies, who at the time had just moved from Vancouver. They had the lowest winning percentage of the 4 North American sports. All time.
Yeah.
So literally, I went from the best to the worst.
How do you deal with that?
It took a lot of patience. I lost more games by Thanksgiving than I did in 4 years at Duke.
Yeah.
But I was lucky to have a small group of young guys who wanted to do something and change it around. And when Hubie Brown came in my second year, he said, we're changing this culture. We're going to be a winner. And it took time. It took effort. It took a lot of beers to get through the pain. But we made the playoffs my third year there and made the playoffs 3 straight years, which is unheard of for the worst team of all time.
When you accept the fact that NBA players are ambassadors and CEOs of their own corporations effectively, how do you build your brand to transcend the fact that you went from an all-time winner to an all-time loser and yet make people focus on Shane Battier, the basketball player?
Yeah, well, you have to have a core philosophy.
Yeah. And yours is?
Work.
No.
Mine was work.
Yeah.
Mine was always work. It wasn't a problem that I couldn't solve through work, through dedication, through focus. I wasn't the most athletic guy. I wasn't the strongest guy, but
you could shoot, though.
I could shoot, and no one was going to outwork me or outthink me.
Yeah.
And that's what allowed me to help elevate that team.
Working and Thinking, business show, international audience, 70-some-odd% of NBA players over the last few years had gone bankrupt, certainly had financial trouble.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? Clearly yourself, but also as a representative of that industry. Who's responsible?
You have to understand sort of the path of an athlete. Yeah. When you're identified at a young age that, you know what, you might have potential to be a professional player. You're sort of the modern-day warrior class. So what happens? You start building walls around yourself, not allowing anyone to see physical weakness, emotional weakness, psychological weakness, financial weakness. So all of a sudden you're at the highest level. Most pro athletes are incapable of saying help me, and would rather go down with the ship, be it lose money or lose their families or lose themselves emotionally or psychologically, than ask for help. Yeah. And I think that all starts at a very early age.
Duke, you majored in comparative religions. Was that comparing Coach K to Dean Smith?
Those are 2 great basketball deities right there. I really enjoyed my study at Duke around comparative religions. I figured, if I'm going to be there for 4 years, maybe I'll something that I enjoy and I want to learn about. And so it was fascinating.
Yeah, and obviously Duke, we're all biased, but Duke does it right. Duke prepares you, nurtures you, trains you. From a perspective of someone all-time winner, played more games, what do you think of the one and dones?
I don't judge anybody.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own path. All right? There's no right way or wrong way to complete your journey. You know, for me, I wasn't good enough to go to the pros early. But I enjoyed college. I enjoyed being a college senior. I enjoyed being a man on campus and learning. Every situation is different, and I'm not going to begrudge anyone for for achieving their dreams, reaching their dreams.
Structurally, as a businessman, does the NBA and the Players Association restructure to require 2 years? Or, again, is it you're playing, you earned it, you have leverage, you do what you want?
Well, optimally, I like what baseball does.
Yeah.
I think if you go to college, I think 2 years is beneficial for everybody.
Yeah.
For everybody. Yeah. For the player, for the college basketball game, for the NBA game, because you get more mature players coming in, a little better equipped to handle the stresses and pressures of professional basketball.
Back-to-back, interesting, 2011. We all know what you did in Miami and how it was perceived. Great team, more than anything else as well. What was it like playing with LeBron and also advancing the team philosophy?
Yeah, it was dynamic. It was never a dull moment.
Yeah.
Whether it was, we got into a hotel at 4 a.m. and we're waiting to see LeBron and D Wade, but
thought it was for you. You think it was for you?
No. There were some grandmas there to see me, but it was such an amazing team atmosphere. There was a true love and a true care for each other, and you have to have talent to win big, but talent alone doesn't win you big. You have to have culture, you have to have love, you have to have caring, and a shared responsibility and sacrifice. And that's what was special about those Miami Heat teams.
Conscious business brand-building effort to have tent poles of a Duke championship and 2 back-to-backs and sustain your brand in the middle.
Well, I never looked at it that way.
Okay.
Again, it's about work.
Yeah.
It's about creating trust, creating competency, being valuable to those in my circle. And I knew if I did that and did that consistently enough, the purity of that journey would elevate my teams, and I was lucky to do that at the highest level.
Yeah. Tell me about the Battier Take Charge Foundation.
Yeah, well, I live by a very simple motto: do well, do good. I've had a lot of blessings in my life. I've done extremely well in my basketball life and off-court life, but it's hollow if I can't help others. And so I feel very strongly about the power of education. And it's my duty, my responsibility, to be able to unlock others' potentials through higher education. So that's the cause, and I'm passionate about helping people reach their dreams through education.
Rumor has it you were pegged to succeed Carl Levin, the Michigan senator, after his 2013 retirement. And whether you were called or not is not relevant to this question. Why not politics?
I have a few things on my bucket list before I even consider that. I climbed Machu Picchu earlier this year. I want to
politics is harder.
Much harder. I want to become like a 5 or 6 handicap golfer.
Much harder.
And I want to be a dad, most importantly. I want to coach my kids. And so when all that's done, who knows where I'll end up.
Well, certainly the mountain climbing and the golfing, that's relatively easy compared to dealing with the discourse that people notice with politics. I'm not going to ask about Trump or any of that, but it's just as someone who's a student of that game, how do you feel about the political discourse that's going on in America?
It's no different than a sports team, a dysfunctional sports team. We need to get back to being able to work together and create a synergy and have a purity and a reminder of what's really important. That's our country.
How did March Madness and your success propel you to be a better person, athlete?
There's one thing that America loves. It's a one-and-done situation. They love the pressure. Yeah. When all the marbles are on the table, you better produce or you're going home. And the pressure of March, nothing like it. Nothing like it. Knowing if I had a bad game, we might be watching the rest of the tournament at home. So once I got to the NBA, I said, look, I've played in games that have much higher stakes than Tuesday night in Milwaukee.
Interesting. And an interesting dynamic. And comparing the pros to the college, one business question relative to compensation, stipend, all of that. We understand the issues of scholarships.
Yeah.
Should athletes be paid in the conventional sense?
I think there should be increased compensation. The money is really funny. What I would love, what I propose, if we're really about education, let's offer our athletes a chance to achieve any graduate degree, master's, business, doctorate degree, if they play a varsity sport. Then all of a sudden, the kids are getting rewarded for their service to the school, and that's the most meaningful way to help these kids. The awareness of the general population of the money that the NCAA makes is really mind-boggling. And so there's more of a fervor to, hey, we don't know what we need to do, but we need to do something to make this more equitable.
You have to give back the 2001 Duke championship or both Heat championships.
Oh,
I can't answer that, right? Well, go ahead.
Championships are like the kids. All right, you don't love one more than the other. You love them differently.
Yeah, very good. On that note, man, I really appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Shane Battier, politically astute, talking about giving back, NBA, Duke, and otherwise. Listen to what he has to say. Pretty significant intersection in sports, business, and foundations and philanthropy. Be back in a couple of minutes with Don Waddell.
Complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number.
Call 877-499-MY-TV.
The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So cancel the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money.
Call 877-499-MY-TV.
Right now to sign up for packages starting as low as $24.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $24.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card.
Call 877-499-MY-TV. That's 877-499-MY-TV.
Cancel the cable, cut costs, and get more.
Call now, 877-499-MY-TV. That's 877-499-MY-TV.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 877-663-7126 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 877-663-7126 to take your call now. Call 877-663-7126. That's 877-663-7126. Again, 877-663-7126.
Rebuild or replace transmission, $3,200. Anti-lock brake system, $1,000. Rebuild or replace engine, $2,400. Truth is, once your manufacturer's warranty runs out, it's all on you. Every last cent. Get protection for covered repairs with a vehicle service contract from Toco Warranty. Unlike other companies, with Toco, there's no down payment, and the monthly payments are really affordable. Not sure how long you're keeping your car? At Toco, you can pay as you go. Keep your hard-earned cash and call Toco Warranty right now at 800-222-2313 to save big money on covered auto repairs. Prices vary by vehicle, but for about the cost of a tank of gas per month, a Toco plan has your back on expensive covered car repairs. Monthly payments are very affordable. Get your free quote now. Call Toco at 800-222-2313. That's 800-222-2313. 800-222-2313. Cancellation fee may apply. Subject to eligibility. Not available in Missouri and Washington. Waiting period and deductible apply. Coverage provided and administered by Warrantech Corporation or its affiliates. Not affiliated with any manufacturer or dealership. Visit TocoWarranty.com for complete terms and conditions.
Sports professor Rick Horrow. Serious show, doesn't take itself too seriously. Beyond the Scoreboard. Don Waddell, president of Carolina Hurricanes. He played for the NHL for 8 years with a number of teams, and also the former president of the Atlanta Thrashers. He talks about Sunbelt NHL strategy, sports and business, and how to grow hockey not only in the Sunbelt, but in the future, television, marketing, corporate. Don Waddell.
One of the things that's really exciting is to follow one of the more stable businesses of any international sport, National Hockey League, how it's grown, revenue sharing, labor peace, the years under Gary Bettman's stewardship, and the successful franchises, the Sunbelt strategy, one of the Sunbelt's premier teams under the stewardship of Peter Kamanos and President Don Waddell, Carolina Hurricanes, Don's significant experience in the sports field. He'll tell us about it, but one of the best franchises, certainly in the league. Don, how are you?
I'm excellent. Thank you, Rick.
Wonderful. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it very much. Give us a Don snapshot, kind of an elevator speech of how you got the business and how you ended up running the administrative side of the Hurricanes.
Well, I started my career as a player, worked my way into coaching, and then general manager for many years. And in Atlanta, I took over there in '98, started that franchise, and then we sold the franchise to Winnipeg in 2011. I stayed on for one more year. My last 3 or 4 years in Atlanta, I was doing not only the hockey, but overseeing the business side of the NHL team, the NBA team, and the arena. So got a lot of experience at that point. And then Pete Carmanis called me back in June or May of 2014 and asked me if I'd be interested in coming in here and helping him out here. So that's how I ended up in Raleigh.
How couldn't you succeed working as a kinder, better, gentler, more athletic Stan Kasten? How's that?
Wow, that's pretty darn good. Stan is probably one of the best people I've learned from and worked for. I worked for Stan for quite a few years in Atlanta, and he's a guy that asked a lot of questions, but always supported the decisions. He openly admitted he wasn't a hockey guy, but he understood sports. He'd ask some tough questions, and you'd give him answers, and he always supported. But, I can't say enough good things about Stan Kasten.
Don Waddell, the president of the Carolina Hurricanes.
Right.
The bottom line, too, for our business audience is diversity and how people feel about the traits that kind of carry them into success in their organization. So, best got to talk about this. You ran parts of an organization. You didn't play the NBA side, even though you're a hockey player. And so, what do you think for our business listeners is the one trait that sustained and nurtured your rise through sports administration, NHL and otherwise?
100% is establishing a culture that people enjoy working in. And, we all work a lot of hours in the sports world. People sacrifice a lot of nights, a lot of weekends, because that's when sports are played. So they never get rewarded totally in compensation. So you try to create a culture that people want to be there and they want to do the best job they can for it. And that's been from day one when I started my management career to the day I get out. That's the number one thing on my mind.
Segue into the NHL for a minute. Obviously, sustainability and stability, probably one of the most important traits as well. Media, labor peace. How well you think the NHL is positioned for future growth over the next 10, 15 years?
Well, you touched on it, Rick, when you started. Gary Bettman has done a tremendous job of leading the league. I've been in the NHL since 97, 98, and so I've watched it grow. But, we had a lot of issues on the table through the years with the Player Association and different ownership groups, and Gary's done a tremendous job of bringing that all together. And if you look at where franchises are today, particularly on the valuation side to where they were even 4 or 5 years ago, the increase has been tremendous for our ownership. And, the labor piece, I think, is one thing that the NHL has gone through some tough negotiations, some work stoppages, but we now have a CBA that is beneficial to both the player and to the hockey team. And I give all the credit in the world to Gary and his team.
You've been the one thing that's interesting in your Thrasher Hurricane career is you certainly become one of the resident experts at the positives and negatives of Sunbelt franchises and Gary's Sunbelt strategy. How do you think it's working? Obviously, a certain set of circumstances in Atlanta, then to Winnipeg again, but generally working well in the future of the franchises like the Nationals and Florida and Tampa Bay, et cetera?
Yeah, and there's no doubt about it. I think if you look at particularly the Florida teams right now with the ownership groups that have gone in there in Florida recently in the last few years and Jeff Vinnick in Tampa, the stabilization of the franchise through ownership is the first step. And Tampa Bay hit the home run when Mr. Vinnick bought that franchise, and obviously you see what they're doing not only on the ice but off the ice. You know, that their attendance is strong. Their business side of the sport is very strong. You know, in Atlanta, even our first 4 or 5 years, Ted Turner owned our team, and we were heading in the right direction. And we got a little caught up. We had an ownership group that bought the team in 2005, a little dispute amongst ownership, and it kind of sidetracked us somewhat, and we can never get back on track there. But, you know, when you look at Nashville, what they've done there, you know, Pete Carmanis here has invested a lot of time and energy and money into Raleigh. They've had some great success in the past, winning the Cup in 2006. And, you know, when I got in here, the one thing that I realized right off the bat, the Hurricanes brand was very strong in this marketplace. We had a little disconnect with our fans and our sponsors, and that's the number one step that we're trying to correct, and we've made huge improvements in it, and we got more ways we can continue to improve that.
I think you'd appreciate. I did a little homework for you. This is an international broadcast, but in Pinehurst, North Carolina today, and I've seen maybe 10, 12 hurricane banners. So put the the business card solicitation, season ticket notice under their mailboxes, and you'll be getting contacted from them shortly. I'm sure you'll appreciate it.
Yeah, we love that. We have one of our minority investors, J.J. Jackson, lives at Pinehurst, and I think he's brought everybody at Pinehurst at one time or another to a hockey game this past year that I've got an opportunity to meet. So that's good to hear. And you know, we look at it. We're not just a Triangle team. We're the state team as the only NHL professional team here. So we're trying to reach everybody.
Don, how hard is this to compete against the? This is North Carolina. Here is obviously a college basketball state. With the Hornets, they're attempting to reclaim pro basketball. It's obviously a football state with the Panthers as well. Very competitive environment, but how do you rise above that over time?
Well, we talk about here in the Triangle area, you know, being the only professional sports team. The colleges, to me, can work in our favor, and we started to utilize that more last year. You know, there's a lot of division between NC State, UNC, and Duke, and even University of South Carolina. But the one thing that we can always bring to the table is when they come to Hurricane games, they all can root for the same team. So we don't really feel like we compete with the college sports. Obviously, they get a lot of attention in October and November when our season first starts, and it's evident by our attendance. As of December 21st this year, we were 2,600 people more a game paid. Had somewhat to do with how the team was playing, but it's also we become the only thing happening in this area.
Couple more. International audience, World Cup of Hockey, as one of the guys who has to shepherd his assets through a grueling off-season schedule heading into training camp. Are you all for the World Cup of Hockey? Excited about what it stands for and what it might do?
Yes, very much so. I was part of the World Cup in 2004 as the assistant general manager, and I've been fortunate to be as a general manager of the 2006 Olympic team. The World Cup to me is a different time. You know, the Olympics. The only negative for the Olympics is it's a great obviously product for everybody, but it breaks up our season. You know, you have to shut down for 17, 18 days, where the World Cup doesn't do that. So you get all the players coming in off the summer. They're all fresh, ready to go. So I think it's going to be the best hockey in the world at this time, and I'm excited about it, and I'm excited about particularly the U.S. team, since I've been part of the U.S. program for so many years.
Are you also comfortable about the opportunity for expansion? You know, obviously Gary's leadership is that expansion is a possibility, not a guarantee, and there's always the subject of dilution, but you're always going into other different markets, whether it is Quebec or Vegas or otherwise. How do you, as an active member of the league, feel about expansion?
Well, I think, you know, we get kept up to date on all the information. You know, to me, expansion, if you have the right city, the right ownership group, you know, there's a tremendous amount of talent out there. So I know people talk about dilution in the league. I don't see that as a big obstacle to get around. I think the key, anytime you're going to look at expansion, is does the city, are they going to welcome hockey? Is it going to have an opportunity to succeed there? And then number one thing is the ownership group, because as you know, coming into professional sports is not a small business anymore. So you have to have ownership that's entrenched not only in the community, but can withstand the financial end of it. So if you have those two things, and I certainly would support the league either direction. But if expansion happens, I think it's good for the league.
What's the business look like, let's say, 10 years from now? What does it look like running an NHL franchise, and what does the NHL look like generally?
Well, that's a great question. I think 10 years from now, we're always changing. The environments are changing. Even the arenas are changing as the new ones are being built. So, who knows exactly what the technology is going to be, but there's no doubt, with social media and everything we do now in the arena, those things are only going to be enhancements for our fans. Because anytime we do anything, whether it's relocating people in the building through beacons that they get on their iPhone, we're always talking about the customer experience. We get people here for 3 hours. Our fans are in the building for 3 hours. We got to entertain them. And, professional sports are not inexpensive to go to. So you got to make sure, win or lose, that you entertain your fans. So where we're going to be in another 5 years is hard to predict. In 10 years, I think you're going to see the league continuing to grow, even in its existing markets, because the base around the number of kids playing in hockey in the United States in particular, in all those non-traditional hockey markets, continues to grow, and we're seeing players drafted from every state now, almost in the union, that hockey is alive and growing quickly.
Finally, Don, we take this in May, though we archive it and use it throughout the year, and we are watching 4 teams in the conference semis, and they don't include the Hurricanes, but it doesn't matter. But as a guy that runs a franchise, do you tune in or tune out?
As business people, the one thing we pay attention to is who's spending money on television, who's spending money on dashboards, in-ice logos, all that, because for us, we know that those people, those companies are hockey fans, and now we have to tell them why Raleigh would be a place to come. So, I watch everything, and then, of course, the games themselves. Yeah, we'd love to be playing at this time of the year. I was fortunate to win a cup with Detroit in 97, 98, and there's no better feeling than playoff hockey and then obviously winning. But the hockey is just intense right now, and it's really fun to watch. So I try not to miss any of the games.
Don has a lot of interesting perspective for the NHL and Carolina Hurricanes, and we'll be back with Bust, Boom, and Hope in just a couple of minutes.
We all know healthcare has changed drastically. It's quite the puzzle to sort through your options and find a health insurance plan that's affordable and maximizes your benefits. And you're now required by law to have health insurance, or you may pay a tax penalty. So let the Health Markets Insurance Agency help you. They offer plans from over 120 different companies and can even help you obtain government subsidies. Let them do all the research for you and show you how affordable health insurance can be, a service that's at no extra cost to you. Call now and learn your options to find affordable health insurance. 800-614-1242. 800-614-1242, 800-614-1242, 800-614-1242. Health Markets Insurance Agency is a DBA or assumed name of Inspire Insurance Solutions, Inc., which is a licensed insurance agency in all 50 states and D.C. Not all agents are licensed to sell all products. Service availability varies by state.
Attention, if you've had hip replacement surgery and suffered any complications, you need to listen to this important legal alert. Major manufacturers have made billions of dollars available to award legal claims for defective hip implants. Thousands of these defective hip implants have been recalled by various manufacturers. If you've had hip surgery and suffered complications, you may be entitled to receive significant compensation to help you deal with your complications. You may be eligible to receive money to help with medical expenses, lost wages, and pain and suffering. Protect yourself by hiring an experienced trial attorney. Our partner law firms are experts in hip replacement surgery lawsuits. Find out now if you're eligible to receive any of the $2.5 billion hip settlement fund. Call now for free information. 800-296-1360. 800-296-1360. 800-296-1360. That's 800-296-1360.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 877-663-7126 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 877-663-7126 to take your call now. Call 877-663-7126. That's 877-663-7126. Again, 877-663-7126.
I'm the sports professor Rick Horrow, and we're back with Beyond the Scoreboard. We've had interesting perspectives on hockey, on football, on technology, on basketball. But now it's time for Bust, Boom, and Hope, the troubling, the good, and the hopeful in our economy from the sports business. Bust. The Buffalo Bills come under scrutiny after unveiling restrictive new media policies for OTAs and minicamp. None of them open to the public. The Buffalo News says the policy is bizarre, even by bizarre NFL standards. Under the new rules, reporters not allowed to comment on which players practice under the first or second team, prohibiting reporting on who's rushing the passer, dropped passes, interceptions, and quarterbacks' completion percentages. Further, reporters not allowed to reveal any conversations that took place between players, coaches, or team executives. Vice President Communications Scott Berchtold told that these rules will not apply to training camp, which is open to the public. Rex Ryan stayed neutral on the policy, and the buzz around it saying, quote, "Our media policy isn't something I'm involved with." Sure. Boom. In an unprecedented move, Under Armour takes L.A. UCLA's new 15-year, $280 million footwear and apparel deal with Under Armour marks the most lucrative deal in college sports history, surpassing the 15-year, $252 million one that Ohio State signed with Nike this past year. Under Armour is set to replace Adidas, which has held UCLA's apparel and footwear rights since 1999. Pro Football Hall of Famer Ronnie Lott, former NFLer Rodney Peete, and a group of investors preparing a bid to help build the Raiders' new stadium in Oakland. The investors have held multiple meetings with team executives and city officials over the past few weeks. Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf made it clear she wants to work directly with the Raiders when it comes to Coliseum plans. And sources close to the Raiders say if a new stadium is not reached by September, the door open to Vegas. It may be open now. Thanks to all of our guests, Jim Rushton, IBM, Shane Battier, Duke, Heat, everybody, and Ray Waddell, Carolina Hurricanes, and the NHL. Getting into the majors, French Open, British Open, golf, NHL, NBA Finals, Major League Baseball, football training camps, it's all there. And join us next week when once again we go Beyond the Scoreboard.